I'm muted. Have I been talking the whole time and I've been muted? I have been. This is crazy. Thank you. So, so let's we can start this over again. I'm Doug with Apogee, and I'm here with Josh Woods, who's the COO of T3 Sports Complex. And then we also have Mr. Scott Bailey, I think, that's also going to be joining us so we can have a bit of a conversation about what's going on. Oh, now I can't unmute my guests because they don't want to be unmuted. It's hard to have a conversation without somebody talking to me.
Hey, how's it going, Mr. Doug?
It's going pretty good. We're having a rough start to our morning, though. I was muted for the first 3 minutes of this thing, and
Hey,
I,
man, it's like that sometimes.
but look at me. I still look good. I still got my Splinter shirt on, my hat, and then I got a bar full of alcohol sitting here. And in Mexico, it's 10 o'clock, and that means that it's time to start drinking. Maybe I should have already done that. All right, so Scott, Josh, again, thanks for hopping on here. We're going to talk a little bit about what you guys do to make your business so successful, and maybe an idea of a presentation that you're going to be giving at Apogee, so you can kind of give people a teaser on what it is that they should be looking for. So, help me out, Josh. Tell me a little bit about um, what you have done to help make P3 Sports Complex as successful as it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started, in like 2015 ish with Scott, and one of the big things that we started with is we started as a martial arts company, right? And that's all that we did was we focused on martial arts. And shortly before COVID, we started with after school to kind of broaden the horizon a little bit. And that really helped, especially kind of carry us through COVID. Because as COVID happened, I mean, I'm sure you also experienced it as well. But the martial art, every extracurricular sport, yeah, everybody was like, okay, we don't need that. And so people were, the martial art program was a little bit more stagnant, and the after school kind of helped, pick that up through. But something that's important that has been apparent and kind of a common theme that's been with really all of the programs is as you grow and as you expand your membership base, there's a lot of things that are going to start happening. Like there's going to be a lot of questions, a lot of parents that are going to want communication. And so what we've done personally, because it's easy when you have a small number of people, it's like, okay, let's reach out to this person. Let's, be on top of that. But what's something that's really important is automating tasks that are done every day, right? Because it gets to the point where, hey, whenever we're small and we have, less than 100 people that we're trying to communicate with, that's manageable. But whenever you're getting past that, that's going to take more and more out of your daily tasks is, hey, reaching out to people, hey, sending these emails, because the last thing you want to do is lose touch with the parents and that core network of your students. And so what we've done is we've had a lot of, again, automations, whether it comes to on the back end with the staff side, but also having deep communications with parents, whether it's martial arts and they get emails whenever their kid gets a stripe, and that's automated inside of Spark. Or it's behavior reports that go out. So with our after school, summer camp, day camps, all of that sort of thing, we have our coaches that go in and they just give them a number between 1 through 5 for their behavior score and some notes. And we've automated where we hit a button at the end of the week and all of our parents, it sends hundreds of emails in, a minute, if that. And so that really helps keep everyone on the same page. It makes our company look really human and really active. And that's really important because that's something that everybody wants. Everybody needs that piece of.
One of the cool things what I liked about you said, and maybe I misheard, but you talked about having, of course, you talked about having a relationship with a parent, and we know that's key. You still have to have that person to person contact, but you have to have the automations that go out to this person as well. But what I thought I heard was that you have automations that go to your team and the back end, and I think that's vital because not everybody has that. that piece of the puzzle put in there to help make everything easier for them to be able to take care of the tasks that need to get done.
Yes.
So, give me an example of just one example of what it is that you have that's kind of in that back end that you use for your team.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're absolutely right about that too. It's just as important to have that on the back end. But something that we have that's automated and something that happens every day is bus routes. So with our after school team, we have bus routes and we have a fleet of 11 buses and multiple schools that we're picking up on. And we have different kids at different times every single day. And so something that's really cool is we've automated a spreadsheet that does all the math for us. Because again, anytime that you're relying on the human brain to do math, and it's even though it's simple and it's repetitive, we make mistakes all the time. And so it's really important to have that sort of thing, especially when it comes to like logistics, to automate that. And so we basically just take a screenshot of what the outcome is of the automation, and we send that out every day, and that keeps all of our team on the same page. They know exactly how many kids they need to pick up at which schools in the order. They know which bus they're taking. All of that's taken care of by that automation.
Oh, that's awesome. So, like I said, that I think that's a huge piece of the puzzle that people just miss. Now, which one of the two of you was smart enough to think about doing that?
It's my brain, but his brain made it all happen. And then I come back and say, hey, can we do this? And he's like, yeah. And then we work on figuring it out, man.
So the life between again the visionary and the integrator is what we have to work our way through. Yeah. So do you have and I mean I was at a conference this past summer where there was a session with CEOs and COOs sitting next to each other on a stage, and we had a virtual Apogee list kind of like this. And what they did is the COO has to understand what the visionary, the innovator has to understand what the visionary is looking at. So do you ever ask him, is this something that we're going to work on today, or is this something that you see that's going to be a few months down the future?
Well, for me, I personally think that, a lot of times we'll come up with these ideas and then we kind of stew on them for a little bit, and then it's a slow integration. I mean, Josh wrote 1,800 lines of code for this spreadsheet to be automated, right? And it's incredible. And he's not a coder. We had to learn it on our own and figure out how to make it work. And so a lot of times, we have this big grand idea, and then it's just a little bites at a time. He'll spend an hour here and there, and then we'll test it, and then it'll be like, all right, Josh, I changed my mind, make it do this, and then he'll do it again, and then we'll test it, and they'll be like, oh no, make it happen this way, And
Well,
so yeah.
I mean, that's the only way to do it, though, is to fail. You've got to fail so many times in order to be able to get it set just the way that you want. And you guys have mentioned this spreadsheet a couple of times, and I know I've seen it. And it's intimidating as hell when you first see it with all the stuff, there's all the little sheet buttons on the bottom, and then all the stuff over here, and this is all blanked out, and this is over here, and this is going to send here. And the fact of it is that Josh, you put it together so easy. We're going to give you all the credit, by the way, that you put it together so easily that it's just a matter of putting in a few things and exporting something from your CRM, and literally you're good to go.
Yeah, we export two pieces of data from our CRM every day, Josh. Yeah,
Yes,
2 pieces from our CRM, copy and paste it, and dump it in, and then literally it does everything else.
See, now that's just amazing stuff. And I think one of the parts about this is that we're talking primarily about after school and summer camp with this spreadsheet going on, but there's functionality for this in a martial arts school. If you just run martial arts by itself, this sheet, not this one in particular, but there could be one that could be created and formatted for you that does a lot of the very same things that you're looking for that you get out of after school and summer camp. Yeah. So that would be one of those things that, if it were me coming to Apogee and I didn't have an after school program, or I didn't have a cheer program, and all I did is martial arts, and I've got 140 martial arts students, and I hear this, automatically I'm going to start thinking, if they can use this sheet for after school, then there's got to be a way to be able to use this sheet for martial arts. And even if I'm dumb, which I am, and I don't have any idea how I'm going to get that accomplished, I at least now have a networking possibility with somebody who is smart to be able to help me create what it is that I need. And that's the value that you get at an event like Apogee, is the networking part. And I think if anybody came and said, "Hey, Josh, can you help me do this?" Not that he has a lot of spare time, but I'm sure that he would be going, "Yes." What is it that I can do to help get you started anyway?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff we've kind of written to be multifaceted. We've kind of already taken that approach. Once we got it figured out for us, we kind of went back and revamped. Josh has a lot. Josh, you can speak to it, but we revamped a lot of the stuff to where anybody could drag and drop, right? Anybody could type their own, if you're doing day camp games or, whatever it may be, into the spreadsheet and make it kind of customizable for them. Because we know as well as I do, my school doesn't operate the same as yours does. Your school doesn't operate the same as the school in Florida would, right? And so
Yeah.
having it customizable is truly powerful.
But it's that whole concept of, uh, God, what the word is that it's doing. So even customizable is not even what I'm thinking, but I'm thinking there's just so much more to it that you're going to be able to get. Anyway, that's just an example of what you might be able to get by coming to Apogee. Not to mention lots of tequila. I mean, holy cow! It's gonna be a networking party at Splinters on Wednesday night. We're gonna have it going on. What, Josh? Have you been to Mexico yet?
I have not been. I've got my passport and everything ready.
Oh man, did you see the smile when he just said that? He's going like, all right, I'm ready to go. Come on, boss. Can we go today?
Well, his
Actually,
his
Josh.
birthday is over the event too, so he's going to be celebrating his birthday as well. So
Oh my goodness! And you know what happens at Splinters on your birthday?
What's
You
that?
get beer. You get beer for free.
Look at that.
You get beer for free. This now that's turned into an ad for Splinters Cozumel, but we're still talking about Apogee, guys. So again, January 22nd, January 23rd, and we have a great place to stay. It's literally a block, half a block away from here, called Casa Mexicana. You've been getting emails from us. There's a link, coupon code. If you want to pick an Airbnb and stay there, that works just as well. You can find them relatively cheap today, but if you wait, high season is starting here in Mexico now, in Cozumel. High season is when all the tourists land. And January is going to be right dead ass in the middle of high season. So these hotel rooms that you've got that you can pay $80 for today, you'll be paying $180 for if you wait until the last minute. So let's make sure that you go ahead and get those things booked. I had another question for you, Josh. You said you've been with. How long have you been at P3? Tell me again.
Since 2015.
2015. All right. So I mean, I used to be able to do math. I was one of those guys. All right. So we're looking about 10 years. Let's just use round numbers. So 10 years, you've gotten your black belt, but you've also become an intricate part of the business behind the scenes on what it is that you're able to do. Not that I'm asking if you're going to be opening your own business anytime soon, but from the things that you've learned and created, do you see how a martial arts school that's expanded it into after school cheer and dance and summer camp, that the workings, the foundations, the things that you've done there could help somebody build a business like a restaurant, like an axe throwing place?
Absolutely. I mean, 100%. We started with like paper sheets where we would have everything printed out. We'd be like, hey, these are the list of students, and it would get water on it. It would get ripped up. People's handwriting you couldn't read. And just small stuff like that. It's like, okay, well, when it's time for billing and to charge all these snacks, you have to go in and you have, 10 pieces of paper that are stacked on top of each other that has to survive a week. A week long, Monday through Friday, and at the end of that Friday you collect all those pieces of paper and you start totaling up these numbers, and you're trying to do math of how much you got to charge these people, and stuff like that makes it, number one, intimidating to have that extra piece on top of martial arts. And so I think that's something that having a sheet like that, and just automating things in general, those minute tasks, that takes a lot of time off of our hands so we can do other things. But it also makes things more accurate and more reliable, more efficient as well. And I think that's really important, especially whenever you're
No,
starting up for the first time.
yeah,
well,
you're absolutely right.
that's something that we really truly worked on, as our company grew 20, 30, 40%, like year over year. We ran out of manpower, right? And so we had to alleviate the strain on our team by creating this simpler systems, and putting them in place. And man, I tell you, like, it's incredible what Josh has created. And I tell him all the time, because we feel the pressures, right? We feel the pressures of performing and running this company, but it's a $2 million company, right? It's an incredible company that he has literally been by my side the whole time and helped handcraft every system that we have in place. So, when everybody's like, "Oh, Scott Bailey," well, Josh Woods has been right there with him too. So
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Well, I mean, there's no way that you can build a successful company doing it by yourself. I
Right.
think I can speak. I can speak on my behalf, and probably yours too, Scott. Once upon a time, when literally we tried to do everything that went on in a school, especially when we were small. Martial arts, when you had 100 students, you knew everybody's name, you knew every parent's name, you knew everything about everything. But you also had to answer the phone while you were teaching class, clean the floor, talk to the parents, try to sell a membership if they wanted to buy a t-shirt. If there was a parents' night out that was going on, there's all these just lists of things that you're trying to do when you're that one person show. Whereas now, if you take these creations that you and Josh have made, a lot of that's taken off your plate. You just don't have to do that part anymore. And you can focus and concentrate on what it is that you do really well. And for most martial artists, what is it?
Teach great classes.
Teach great classes. I can kick and punch. They can do that and they can make those kids happy. I was talking with my director of martial arts yesterday. We're gonna put together a video, but just a quick story for her is that she and her kids have been involved at Apex for 4 or 5 years. Her son's playing football. He used to be a mess, just used to be a mess. And she said through martial arts, he's gotten more disciplined. Anyway, he's playing football. They're losing, and everybody, the coaches are mad. The player, his teammates are mad. Everybody's just pissed about everything. The attitude is terrible. But this kid is like, keep your head up. Come on, we got this. We can do this. And she said, for the first time as a parent, she really saw how the value of martial arts worked for him in some other setting, in football. And that is exactly what we talk about when we have people who come into our programs, is that we want them to turn into not great martial artists. That's a bonus, but we want them to turn into great people. That's the whole point. And that the value of what we give to people in martial arts, it's unprecedented. You can't find it anywhere else.
Yeah, I was talking to a school owner yesterday, actually, and they were talking about, their school. We were going through their numbers and their curriculum, and they were really struggling, and one of the things that she said is she wanted to leave a legacy. And, we talked a lot about that, is what does your legacy look like? Are you creating those instructors to hand this school off to? Because at some point your knees and back are going to get a little bit older, right? And so,
Amen, brother.
right. So what does that look like for your next generation? Are you truly creating a business for the next generation, if that's part of your legacy?
Well, and this is where Josh and his mind come in so handy for everybody to be able to help create that stuff for you. And again, not everybody is going to have his talent to be able to make that happen, but he can point you in a direction. I think Josh can give you he can give you the steps to get started and how to do this and make it all effective. And truly, those are the only things that we can ask for, is that we take somebody's information, we take the plan and we put it into action, and then we make it work.
Yep.
And if you just go and you hear somebody say something and you go, what a great idea, which don't tell anybody, but I've done that thousands of times. When I got back home, nada, I didn't do anything with it. So it just sat there. So sometimes I go back through old notebooks, I see things and I go, oh, this is a really good idea from 7 years ago. And then you try to implement it, and damn if it just doesn't work. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just not the brightest bulb on the tree.
Biggest thing. I think that one of the beautiful things about Apogee is we're going to implement, right? We're going to take action. We're going to implement at the site, right? While we're doing it.
Yeah. So, and it's not,
I've got to interrupt our live. I got to interrupt our live for a minute. Hold on. You want to see my legacy?
Oh,
say hi to the world. She's got her pretty Christmas shirt on.
Oh my goodness. Why she already got Christmas on?
She's already
You
got
know,
Christmas on.
we know somebody who's looking forward to Christmas present. You better buy that girl a muffin.
She's got a bicycle. Bye, baby. They're going. I think they're going to the zoo or something today. But again, that's my legacy, man. Right? Like that's what I want right there. You know.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me today is Wednesday, right? Today's Wednesday, the middle of the week, and your family is going to the zoo and you don't have to go to work?
Well, I've already been at work today, but yes, we're getting ready to go to the zoo. So,
Oh, so you spent 2 hours at work today. Good for
oh
you.
yeah,
Okay. Now,
that's true. It was only 2 hours.
But truly, that's the point I'm trying to make is that,
Yes, sir.
because of the things that you've got that you and Josh have created and built and the team that you've got and the automations that go behind it, all the stuff in the back end, it allows you to be able to do things with your family that a lot of people who own, especially martial arts businesses, but businesses in general can't do.
Yeah.
Again, I'm here on the island of Cozumel, and there are, I don't know, I want to say hundreds, but I don't know that that's true. But of people I know, there's 40 or 50 people that own a business that is their life. That's what they do all the time. They can't go to the zoo because they have to be at work.
Yeah.
And we've got,
Businesses will eat you if you're not real careful. I mean,
yeah,
it was easy for it to eat me when I was young because I was a bachelor and I didn't have a family, right? But as you gotten older, I knew that I wanted to create something that it wouldn't eat me. I could go to the zoo, I could go to the movies with my kid, I could be at the dance recitals or football games or whatever it may be. So, again, that's why I tell this young man he's getting ready to go in that life too of buying a home, creating a family, getting married. And I said that now is when you can do all that creation, right? You create it now so you can enjoy the future.
no, I love that. Good advice.
I know. It's like somebody told me that when I was like 20, right?
Yeah, whoever that was had to be a smart man.
This guy right here.
Yeah, whichever corner he's in one side or the
Right.
other. All right, very good. So, Josh, your presentation at Apogee, can you give us kind of a little teaser on what it is that people can look forward from you in your presentation?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, really, it's all about the style of automating, all the benefits behind it, how to do it, what it looks like. Because again, when you're able to automate those things, you can do things like go to the zoo when you have things running in the background that are taking care of the numbers, they're taking care of the math, they're taking care of sorting, all of that good stuff. So that's really what the meat and potatoes is going to be is, hey, like this is how you can automate your business, whether it's after school, whether it's summer camp. And like you were saying, Mr. Doug, I mean, this can go into really anything that's when it comes to it. If you're looking for martial arts stuff, I mean, it can be done. If you're opening a restaurant, if you have an axe throwing place, it can be done, right? And so that's the power of automating is it's modular, so it can be moved. And that's what Mr. Scott and I have been doing with P3. Since I joined P3, everything was about it being modular because it started
Yeah.
again at the art place. And whenever we started expanding and moving, it got to the point where it's like, okay, we can't focus on kicking and punching. We have to be able to, hey, we have cubbies that can turn backwards, and we have everything that we have designed is designed to be changed, like it needs to be upgraded, it needs to be moved, it needs to be able to whatever we need it to do. And that's where we live at right now. That's the powerful thing is, and so we need to keep up with that. And again, automation is the way to do that, to be on top of it, have thousands of things happening in literally seconds. And so that's what's going to be happening. This is powerful stuff.
And when Josh talks about modular and flexibility, it truly lends to, not every employee is going to stay with you forever, right? So you spend 3, 4, 5, 10 years training an employee and you love them to death, but sometimes life just takes them different ways, right? And having these systems in place, these automations in place, these things that anybody can jump in and it's automatically done for them, right? It just makes that transition a lot easier and a lot smoother for your company. So again, that flexibility for your future is powerful.
I like to call that the lowest common denominator. So a system has to be created so that the lowest common denominator, when we're talking about a person, probably at this point, is able to succeed at that task to the best of their abilities.
Correct.
And for example, again, I'm standing in a bar. So, one of the things that we just had a conversation about yesterday is, recipes for drinks just have to be the same. I used to go to certain establishments in my younger days because I would know the bartender. The bartender would give me a little extra pour in there. And I was like, well, I'm only coming on the days that Bobby is working because Bobby's going to hook me up with some extra alcohol. And you want everything, the experience to be the same for everybody. So, you've got to have the system set up so that any 15-year-old who can come in is able to do the job. That usually I'm the lowest common denominator. I'm able to make the drink the exact same way as the best bartender we have. I'm able to go into the kitchen and cook wings just as good as the chef is that's in there. And if we're talking about a martial arts school, that somebody who's standing in the role of maybe that after school coach or the after school manager, make sure that the kids get home safely in the right cars, and we're not talking like that's a small task. These people, as parents, they trust you with the lives of their children every single day.
Yep.
Between the time you pick them up and they leave school to the time they get in mom or dad's car, they trust you with the life of their kids. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing in this world more valuable than your own kids.
100%. 100%.
Sorry about that. It was a preaching exercise.
No, it's a burden that we shouldn't take lightly, right? I think a lot of people, especially even martial arts, it's a burden that we should teach and carry that light forward. And if we're not doing that, we shouldn't be teaching martial arts, right?
Agreed. Yeah, and we've talked about values in martial arts that now are being used in your systems that you're doing in after school summer camp dance and shit.
Yeah. So we actually took the same those core values of teaching courtesy and respect. And my daughter did cheerleading she still does, and it's a very cutthroat, very just nasty world, right? And so
mine did too.
when I started my cheer program, I wanted to bring the values that we teach in martial arts into the cheer and tumbling aspect, right? So we teach them how to be good people. We teach them respect. We teach them about being a community player, And again, that's what's setting us apart. That's why our cheer program is growing. We have, I think, 70 or 80 tumblers now, and we have 2 cheer teams this year. Last year we only had 1, so it's doubled. So it's growing. So as soon as we get this next phase done, Josh Woods, we'll be able to really take off. We closed on it. We finished that one of the step one of the project next week. So, and then it's going to be game on. So,
well, Josh, I'm looking forward to meeting you here in Cozumel. We've met before. I know we've talked, and I'm actually looking forward more to picking your brain to see how we're going to be able to make Splinter's Axe House Cozumel be able to work better on automations. We have a company that's behind us, Promax, who's helping us with that already. But I just had this idea that you got some thoughts in your head that I'm going to be able to pull out of there that we're going to be able to use better in here. And once we do that for Splinters, we can take that model and just put it anywhere. Put it in a restaurant. Put it in another axe throwing facility. Put it in. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. We can put it into Domino's Pizza. You want Domino's Pizza? We have it. Tastes like crap. Don't order it. But we have it. Junior's Pizza, pretty good though. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. I know you got to get to the zoo, Scott. So January 22nd, 23rd, Apogee here in Cozumel. Again, short time frames, 3 to 3.5 hours are going to be the presentations total each of those 2 days. Wednesday night, we're going to have axe throwing night here at Splinters. Get a free drink on us, on Promax, and just talk to people and pick their brain and find that person that's got that need that you're looking for, and have that conversation with them and make new friends. Really, man, that's kind of once you've done all that, man, there's not much left.
Absolutely.
All right,
make new friends. Drive you forward. Yeah.
Last thought, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. We do have a Black Friday offer that's coming up. Surprisingly enough, on Black Friday. So $497 is your registration fee to get into Apogee. We're going to cut $400 off of that. So it's $97 for Black Friday for you guys to get down here. And Again, it's cheaper now to go ahead and book your hotel and your flight. Sorry about my voice. I tried to do karaoke last night. I'm not good. Yeah, I'll post a video later.
Automation.
99. We have. Okay, that's it. There we go. You see them, the speaker and stuff. Oh my God. So $97 will get you your registration into Apogee. And again, you're not going to find a better group of people that are going to be here that are going to be more concerned about your business and the welfare of being able to make it better.
It's what we love,
All
right? It's an industry we
Yes,
love.
sir. Yes, sir. All right. Parting comments, Mr. Woods.
I'm excited to see everybody. And again, I'm more excited to not only get my brain picked, but to go around and do the same thing again. The great thing about something like Apogee is being able to make those connections with people you've never seen before. And grow your mindset is really important because that's where ideas stem from. And so I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited.
Amen to that. Mr. Bailey.
Man, I'm just excited to hang out with people. A lot of these events you go to, and it's very lecture style, and we'll have some of that too. But getting to sit down and truly work and dive into your business and our business too, and just see how we can improve. Right? It's 1% improvements every day, and those compound over time. So again, just excited to see everybody and hang out with everybody.
Usually I would do questions at this point, but I don't see any. And probably it was also because I was muted for the first 5 minutes of this thing. So nobody understood what I was saying to begin with. All right. Thanks for joining us. For those of you who are watching the end of this, Fred De Palma is going to be on here with me later today, 4:30 Eastern time. And Fred owns 7 or 8 martial arts schools out on the West Coast. I'm in Arizona, and runs an event. And more importantly than that, to me, the really cool thing is he owns his own football team.
That's cool.
He owns a football team. I mean, talk about a sportsman's dream. They do arena football, and his team is good. They won the championship maybe the last 2 years. I know he'll be able to tell us, fill us in on more of that this afternoon at 4:30. All right, guys, thanks for joining me this morning. I appreciate that. Josh, look forward to seeing you in Cozumel. Make sure you tell him you want to come early so that you can have a few days to acclimate yourself to the island. And what I mean by that is the tequila. And then you'll have your birthday, so we'll take care of some free beer for you while you're here as well. And I guess that's it. You guys just got to enjoy the zoo.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you,
sir. All right. We'll see everybody at 4:30 when we talk to De Palma.
Bye, guys.